Chiller, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, dude.
I can't believe I am.
Yeah, this is good. We've been planning this for a while, so I'm pretty stoked on this. As we get started, if you can, please follow us on our social media platforms, which is Instagram, Facebook. We're on Rumble and YouTube. Please hit that like and follow button. Give us 5 stars. Appreciate it. Anyways, now we're going to get started, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I love it. So, Wes, my man, dude, I've been waiting for this for a while. I'm excited. I'm stoked. We've been doing some projects together.
Yes.
This is going to be super cool, man. And so people know, how did you and I meet?
Dude, we met on an overtime, and basically I was going through my second probation at work, which was great. And you were just coming in. It was your first day driving. So that was day one. And you came in with like your eyes like this,
gosh,
but you were chill because you got forced prior.
Yeah.
And I was coming out with probably like a general look of malaise, and I was like, oh, I like this guy, and then
that's
how.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say the captain's name. The captain he's a bald dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I totally remember this because I talk about this with people at work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I promoted. It's all good. Like, I think I had a day or two off before I started on a new shift. It's a new position. I'm driving now. Super nervous. And then bang, they're like, hey, bro, you're forced. I was like, what? So people know when in our line of work, when they say you're forced, they call it forced hire or mandatory, depending on like which department you work for. But that means you have to go to work. You have no choice. Like you're going to work and you're working, and it's not your regular shift. Of course, it's overtime, so whatever. But I remember I was scared, dude.
Dude,
I was so nervous. I'm like, I can't even work with my normal crew first.
Nope.
Like I'm forced.
Nope.
Dude.
Come on in.
Yeah, I remember getting to work because there was like there's a wildland rig there.
Yep.
And a normal fire engine. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I hope we don't get a brush fire today. I am so nervous. I got to do all these checkouts and all that. And yeah, that's, it's so fun. I'm so glad
we would have been fine.
Yeah.
We would have been fine.
Water on fire. It's all right, dude. No, that's right. Because you worked for a previous department.
I did.
Yeah. How many years did you have there?
Gosh, I think I had just hit my 5th year of service, starting my 5th year.
Yeah.
So
and you came over to the
dark side.
Yeah, dude, the land of milk and
yes. Yeah, baby. It really has been a great, at first it was like a little bit of culture shock in a good way. And then as I acclimated and kind of got more settled into it, it was like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Well, it's a hard move too. I think anyone with any career, right? You're in there for a while, you get kind of comfortable, right? We do.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, I need to, not that where I'm at is bad, but there's things I want to do that this other place has to offer.
Yeah, 100%. And I have like literally nothing bad to say about where I came from.
Yeah.
Like it was an incredible place to learn, and they were patient with me and gave me tons of opportunity to do stuff.
Yeah.
So like there is no like zero ill will. It's just it's kind of like a pretty tantalus offer to get the opportunity to work closer. So,
well, the cool part about this is that's the day when I first met you, I found out you're a surfer and you're a fellow longboarder.
Yes.
Which I love, right? Because the real truth is most of my friends that I grew up surfing with and for people I surf with now I met, a lot of them are mid-length and shortboard.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So my local breaks are here in North Orange County.
Yes.
Huntington Beach, Bolsa Chica.
Also, baby, Tower 16.
Dude,
right?
let's go.
64.5.
My dad still goes there, dude.
Okay.
82 years old, sir.
Okay.
Just hammering it, dude. I love it.
Yes.
So we met, we talked, and then like figured out you surfed. I'm like, wait a minute, you longboard.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're a god. Like, thank you. It was good. It was really cool. And then I don't know. It was some time before we actually went out and surfed.
Yes.
But I think we went out down to churches, right? Mm-hmm. Is that where we first went out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people, most of my life I never really had photos of me surfing. Mm-hmm. But I grew up surfing around. I'm mixed. Mom's black, dad's white, right? Yeah. So people look at me like, what are you? You Puerto Rican, black, right?
Yeah.
Yo, you surf? Like, oh yeah, he kind of surf, right?
Yeah.
And there's some people that I've gone out with that, firefighters or other people I know, like, yeah, I surf. And you get out there like,
no, you don't.
Yeah, you don't really surf.
Not really.
And we get out
You
there-
have surfed a couple times.
Yeah. And then we get out there and dude, we're both ripping. I was like, yes, dude. We're hanging 10, hanging
Let's
5.
be real. Let's temper the expectations, folks. I do not rip that hard. I can surf decently.
There's pictures.
Tim was ripping.
Oh man, there's pictures, dog. No, it's super cool. And I love that, not only are you a fellow firefighter and a surfer, but you're also a musician. And that's something for me that's always been close to my heart. Playing music, that's what I grew up doing. Playing piano, singing oldies in the car with my mom. And that was like another connection point with us. And then I'm like, wait, you write music too? I'm like, bro, this is a bromance in the making.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That was like a trifecta. I was like, man, he speaks my language.
Yeah.
Like, he really understands me.
Oh, dude, it's well. When did you start playing music? Was it something you picked up as a kid or as a teenager?
Yeah, so that's a cool one. Frickin' basically, when I was a little grom, my grandma played the what do you call it? Like that home organ thing. Forget what it's called.
Oh man,
it's like everybody used to have one, and you can buy one now, and most of them are a little broken, but they're really sick. Let me know if you have one.
Yeah,
but. So yeah, she would play that, and then I kind of was able to copy her. I was like probably like 2 or 3 years old, and I could kind of like copy her right hand and her left hand, and so she kind of passed that along to my parents. And I grew up in a house where, and my life could have been a lot different. So like, let's just get this straight right here. Like, I am the most fortunate dude. I got so lucky. My deck of cards was crazy. So we'll talk more about that. But
I like it.
Yeah, dude. So there's a lot of like Hawaiiana around in my house growing up. It looks like a Duke's if you go inside of it, like literally top to bottom. It looks like you're in Waikiki.
It's funny you say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the house, I think you're still in that house, right? Or one of them?
Yeah.
I feel the vibe.
Yeah.
I feel when I went to your place,
Yeah,
I'm like...
mine is like that, what they're doing, like scaled back to like a 4 and like imagine like a 12, bro.
So I love your parents,
Dude,
so cool.
they're the best. They're the best. Yeah. But they loved Hawaii. They had tons of family over there, went all the time. And that was like kind of in my like DNA, I guess, just like loving that little zone.
Yeah.
And then, on the way down to Estero Beach in Mexico on a road trip with the family, I was like 5. My uncle, Don Stewart, rest in peace, he was playing a ukulele, and he passed it back to me, showing me a C chord, which is like super easy. I just played it for like 5 hours, dude.
God bless you. Your uncle, dude.
Jeez, dude. Thanks, mom and dad. Like, thank you so much. But yeah, so they just like, I'm going to show everybody too what that C chord looks like, because
bring it out. Let's do it.
I just really believe in this thing, man. Over the years, it's like literally paved my life. And, I don't really do these podcast things too often. So like I figured the best way I could be of service would be to teach somebody a little something.
Let's go, baby.
See what's going on.
I like that. Is that the same ukulele?
Yeah. No. Much different. Oh, sorry. You want to know why I don't do many podcasts?
Why?
Nobody asks.
Okay. God,
Okay, so my uncle shows me this little chord right here. It's a C chord, 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the bottom string.
Hey.
And it's that easy.
It's beautiful.
Right? And I just did this for like 5 hours, and like, God bless my parents. But so from there, like, I just liked it. It was around, and by the time I turned 9, I went to Hawaii, and I saw this dude just ripping, this local guy ripping on the uke, and I was so frothed that I went up to him, and he like showed me what he was doing. He was doing Wipeout. And I was just like, what is that? And he was doing this thing where he would make like a drum sound with his strum. He'd be like,
oh, yeah.
And I was just like, what are you doing, dude?
That's so sick.
So he like gave me a couple lessons out behind the police station in Waikiki, which is like a little hangout for some of the musicians around that area.
Wow.
And that was like really when I like took to it.
That's when it stuck for you, right?
That's when it was like, boom, like, this thing is going to be with me forever.
I love it. And then did you transition from the ukulele to guitar?
Yes, but that was a little bit later.
How long? How long later?
I was like, that was the Super Bowl of Denver and Green Bay.
Oh my God. What year was that?
It's a great question.
Are we going to age you right now,
99?
Woo! Sam, too, were you born yet?
2000?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
so sick.
I don't know what year that was, but my uncle, Don Stewart, the man, came through with a guitar and was like, hey, it's time. So he taught me Freight Train by Elizabeth Cotton.
That's sick.
And that was like the first, and that was like a finger picking song. So like
Yeah.
I started really kind of taking to that. I also got to drop one more name. When I got really good at the ukulele was when I started studying with this man named Bill Tapia.
Okay.
And they call him the Duke of Ook. He's probably greatest of all time in my book. And, I'll put that against anybody. Sorry. But he was truly incredible at ukulele. He was a jazz musician growing up. He grew up playing in vaudeville.
Very good.
And he was 95 when I started taking lessons from him.
Get out of here.
So like I was like 10 and he was 95.
That's so cool, though.
Initially, he was like, no, I don't do daycare.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then thank God somebody like warmed him up and like was like, no, take a look. And then that's like when I learned the art of jazz. Like I would consider myself a jazz musician by trade,
Yeah.
and really instilled in me a lot of amazing concepts. But he passed away at the age of 103 and played shows up until his death.
Get out of here.
The last thing he told me before giving me his ukulele that was made side by side with mine was he goes, never skip an opportunity to play a show. Like always go and play.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is so freaking cool, dude.
Yeah. 103 years of wisdom. He also said the most interesting
Advantageous?
No, the most interesting invention that he's seen in his entire lifetime was the internet.
Dude, that's crazy.
We're talking 2 world wars, folks.
Yeah.
The automobile,
Yeah.
planes.
Well, just think. Okay, think of if that guy was still alive now, right? Think about how long it took to get to the internet, all that stuff, right? And then probably when the iPhone came out to now was such a huge tech boom.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, where was I the other day? It was I was looking. I was like, I'm gonna go look at some new road bikes because I cycle, mountain bike, and all that. And my last road bike that I bought when I was racing and doing crits and having fun doing my thing was like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, but I still have it.
Dude, so you're like the riding the old chariot. You're like, hey guys, I see you with your fancy equipment.
Well,
like,
you know what? It hit me. It was a couple months ago. I went in just to have like the annual tune-up on my bike, right? So I take it in. I take care of it. It's clean. I hang it up in my garage, and I take it into my local bike shop. And I know that the guys there, but I used to do a lot of maintenance myself. Now I'm like, whatever. That's why I make money. I'm going to support the economy.
yeah, yeah.
And I take it in. He's like, oh, look at that old thing. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
God. Like, what? I was like, easy, bro.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
this
is
is
that?
my
That's
queen,
totally
dude.
unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I'm putting 50 miles a day on this thing. Relax, homeboy.
God dang.
Yeah, but that boom. Anyways, sorry. To get back to my point is, I was looking at the new bikes, and most of them are Bluetooth shifting. I was just like, wait,
What do you mean?
Yeah, I was like, how in the? So they're showing me how it works, and I was like, dude, whoa, like this is way different. But it's a lot smoother shifting, especially when you're climbing or racing and it's a smoother and your chain stuff doesn't loosen. It's really cool.
What happens when the power goes out?
That's the thing. You got to keep it charged, but dude, it stays charged for like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, he told me even Tour de France and Spain, all the pros use it.
Yeah.
I was really shocked. But then I looked at sticker price and I was like, $7,800. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, dude. I like when I bought my bike in 2012, it was like $2,200, and that was like, whoa. Mm-hmm. Consciously, I was like, I'm probably gonna ride this for like another 10 years.
You gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
You gotta pay to play.
Yeah, you grow, and you got properties, and you got mortgages. Dude, I can't go spend $7,000 on a bike right now, man.
Sure you can.
But man, just thinking like when
You get forced tomorrow, dude. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. The forces are real, people. The forces are real. But if he were to be alive to see that technology boom,
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what his thought process would have been on that. Because even my dad, Love my dad. Lifelong surfer. Great dude. He just, I would say, a year and a half ago, got rid of his flip phone.
Wow.
Yeah, he had it for a long time. Long time.
How old is your father?
82.
82.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's a little bit older than my old man.
Yeah.
My dad's 77.
Okay.
But he's like a technology like lover. Like,
yeah, your dad's probably.
he's got his iPhone.
Yeah.
Bless him. Like I am an IT specialist for the Miller family, dude. It's like I'm routing cables, dude. I'm fixing passwords every day. Yeah.
Well, I love my parents call me over. Like, our internet's not working. All I do is like reset the router, and it's like, whoa, you're so technology.
Yeah,
You're just like,
yeah.
guys, I just hit reset. It's totally fine, but not. I think it's so cool too that what I think is beautiful in that, because you know I say this to a lot of people when I talk about music. For me, in my opinion, music is a universal language.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can be sitting together and let's say you like blues, right? Maybe I don't like blues or I like country, but we hear something that's blues or country, even if we might not like it, you're like, hey, that actually sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're both sitting there jamming. How cool is that you were 10, he's 95, and you know, coming together, you get a guy with lifelong experience as a musician teaching you as a young kid. Like, how special is that, dude?
Oh man.
And who's to say what that did for him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Right.
he's like, I don't want to be with kids, but maybe one day, you know, next life, dude, you might know what that actually did for him.
Yeah.
You know, it's freaking rad.
He was special, dude. When he would give me a lesson, right? Like he'd give me a song a week, and whatever it was. But the way he would transcribe the song, he would take out a piece of blank paper, like printer paper.
Yeah.
Turn his ukulele over like this, and then proceed to draw the music staff, and then note by note from memory, write the entire melody line with chords over the top. Dude. And it took him about like 9 minutes to like hand me then a sheet of like chicken scratch, like barely legible, written by a 100-year-old man.
Whoa, dude.
And that was like my lesson.
That's so rad.
And oftentimes we did it every Wednesday in the bamboo room. It was either at his house in Westminster. Okay. Or we would go down to the bamboo room at Sano, just past Old Man's.
That's sick, dude.
And there was a group of musicians there that were like the seriously legendary musicians. Like Mike McCaffrey is a great singer. He always played down there. A bunch of other guys. Jack George.
You're talking down at Sano where we surf.
Yeah.
Interesting you say that, because I remember that as a kid going down with my dad. Like, those guys were there playing music. I just put two and two together. That's insane.
That's them. They were literally like some of the best musicians in Orange County and LA, best surf guitarists, jazz guitarists. They'd all come down and they played from memory. So like, you know, not anybody could just pull up with a guitar or a ukulele and play. It was like, no, like we're playing, you know, T for 2 key of C. Like, it was kind of like a flex, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it was cool because like, you know, as I got better, they invited me to play.
That's
and I got to like sit in between sessions out at, you know, Old Man's with my buddies. And it was just like, dude, it was just crazy.
How old were you during that time?
I was like 10 to 15. Like,
see, that's cool that they even like, it's almost like they're nurturing the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and unfortunately, like music in that function, now that we have like streaming and like speakers with us everywhere, I truly believe that it's like taking on a different function now. You don't see as many like random jams, and like you don't see as many like, oh, let's just get together and we like, not everybody knows all the same songs, you know? Mm-hmm. Like there was very much like a genre of standards that you learned,
right.
In the jazz world at least. So,
well, when did you start writing music?
Gosh, I wrote my first song called A Day in the Islands.
You're such a little Hawaiian dude.
When I was freaking, how old was I? I was in 4th grade. Yeah.
4th grade?
4th grade.
That's pretty cool.
It's like, it was like something like super.
Dude, you wrote that
like,
in 4th grade? That's excellent.
It's coming a long way, you know. But a lot of mileage on that one, man. But
is that kind of? Did you have a band then? You know, in high school bands, because you have a band now.
I do.
That's why I'm wondering, like, what was the progression to get you to where you're at? Because you have a couple records out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, What was that progression?
I got bit by the bug.
My man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, gosh, fast forward, okay. Playing the ukulele pretty good. Bill Tapia taught me a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Learned as much as I could. And then when I was a senior in high school, one of my friends' dads passed away, and they hired me to play at his funeral. At that funeral, I met a guy named Chris Wolf, who is a guitarist for the Shies, which was a really, 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 really bitchin' Orange County rock and roll band that they had like a record label deal with Sire Records. And
Okay.
so my buddy Kyle Crone, who was the singer of that band, kind of like they pulled me into this fold of like, I was like 17, 18, and we were like playing Troubadour and House of Blues and all these places. And they're like in their prime. They're like 26, 27. They're like crushing it, you know?
Yeah.
Money flying on the table. You're
out there playing.
And I'm like,
what's happening?
I'm like 17. I'm like, this is crazy, you know?
Oh, dude. So did you originally want to do music for a living?
I don't know. I just had always done it.
Okay.
And then there's like two key factors that gave me the rock and roll bug.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I can be doing this. And I had been playing guitar for a while, and it just made me really want to do it. So I started a band with my buddy Dennis and Tanner.
Okay.
And we were called the Yokos.
The Yokos.
The Yokos.
Oh, dude, I can remember that. I like that.
And then we went through a couple iterations of that, and I had to learn a lot about like. That was where I was like learning how to run a band, and wasn't doing a very good job of it.
That's an art in itself.
Yeah. I was also 16, so like whatever, like. But that set me on a trajectory. Ended up going with this really beautiful girl at the end of my high school experience, and she was just such a special girl. And she ended up getting into UCLA for World Arts and Cultures.
Okay.
And she told me about this degree there called ethnomusicology. So your boy applied. I had a decent GPA in high school.
I didn't,
but not. Yeah, like I'm not getting into UCLA. In fact, my academic counselor was like, "Ooh, you should set some more realistic expectations." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're giving me an audition. Like, don't you see what I can do?
Yeah, dude. Hey, it's better than what my dad told me. He's like, yeah, you're going to JC.
Yeah. Yeah. He looks at the grade card. He's like, all right, well, hey, good effort, kid. Frickin'.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, dude. I ended up applying. I got an audition at UCLA.
That's sick.
And I played in front of Kenny Burrell and a couple of the other folks there, and they let me in, dude.
Get out of here.
They
man.
let me
I love
in,
it, dude. What? Okay, so when you say they let you in, does that mean like, hey, all you gotta do is fill out the application, you're good to go, we're gonna take you?
That was a part of my secondary application.
Okay.
So what happened was you applied on your normal application, you fill out your ethnomusicology, and then you get the secondary application. Then they schedule you for a interview audition.
Okay.
So I went to the audition, nailed the audition.
My man. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Sorta. I made a couple mistakes, but then it was off to the races, dude.
So how long were you at UCLA?
I was there for 4 years.
You did the full 4 years?
Yeah, full 4.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wow, good for you, man.
Was in a band up there, like learned the whole college scene, like played all over Los Angeles, did like the gigging thing, where you're like, like you don't know any better. You're just like, oh, well, if I play everywhere, then maybe they'll listen.
Yeah. Someone,
and you're just like, no, absolutely not. Don't try it. Like
that's a
I'll
grind
save you a lot
too.
of time.
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand the grind of a musician in touring and playing these. I mean, it's not like you get big overnight. Maybe there's some, right? That's that maybe what, 1%?
And a lot of folks are really good at marketing.
Yeah.
Like if you're able to get a little head start on that, you'll go a lot farther quicker.
Oh gosh, even now with social media. I mean, you look at it now, I feel like social media and SoundCloud, I think still. SoundCloud, remember SoundCloud?
SoundCloud goes.
Okay. I remember like once all that stuff kind of started happening, it kind of almost changed the music scene just a little bit, because now you have a lot of people who started just putting their own stuff out.
Yeah.
And doing it and playing and making the videos. And it I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this, but to me, it just changed the game a little bit from like growing up and playing music and kind of seeing how it used to always be to now it's like you got people getting big off, their songs. They have great voices. They're shredding on guitars and they put it on YouTube and boom, they got like millions of views.
Yes.
It's crazy.
So fun fact here.
Bring it.
Played with a band right after COVID kind of ended. These guys are awesome. They're young kids. The singer went famous on TikTok. I might be botching this. I'm sorry if you guys are listening. The singer went famous on TikTok prior to any sort of band for like some like stylish California videos, like Grom, like, he's like a handsome young kid, high school kid. And then I think his parents are like pretty wizardous with like the marketing thing. And they kind of were like, whoa, dude, you went viral. Like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, what if we get a band? And like parents kind of handled a little bit of the brand aspect of it. And dude, now they are playing like sold out shows internationally.
Wow.
And they kill it. Like they're good. But the funny thing is that gig that they played with me, like, they were like brand new to playing shows and they're already playing shows to a sold out crowd.
Right.
And like, I've worked real hard for that, man. I've worked really hard for that, man. So like, no, I don't know. But it was cool. It was just, to me, it was inspiring. Like a lot of guys are like, oh, you TikTok bands, like blah, blah, blah. But like, no, dude, like it's cool to see people's art independently get blown up. Like it's really awesome because that's the whole point of all this. It leveled the playing field. Like if I can stay in the game, like, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I can run my operation off of what I'm doing now. And guess what? No one can take down my masters because I own them.
All you own, baby, is your catalog.
And like whatever, maybe it's sitting there collecting dust, doing whatever. But like, it's mine,
man. Yeah, I'm such a firm believer of. I love the arts. I love creativity. I'm sure you've seen that. I mean, that's why I even have the podcast. It's just cool that we can do something on our own.
Oh yeah,
put out art. And art can
look at what we're doing right now.
Oh, I know. Dude.
Isn't that crazy?
It's awesome. And dude, what's cool is people need to know you played at a pretty big event in Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah.
Which was?
That was the U.S. Open of surfing.
My man.
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, that was sick.
Best tour manager you ever had.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. That really was. Yeah.
That was rad. I mean, it probably sounds weird, but I was like, God, I'm so proud of this guy. It was just cool to see you on stage. It was great that I could help out and be around, just make sure everything was running smooth. But it's like, you sit back.
You were instrumental.
My man.
Yes.
But it's cool. Like, you see a friend who, like-minded, but he's up there and seeing you in your element, playing with your band and vibing, and people are out there dancing. It was such a great experience.
There were some classic characters in that audience.
Yeah, dog.
Dude. I don't even know what to say. Like, there were some classic dudes. Yeah. We have a little video on Instagram of it. I encourage everybody to go check it out at West Chiller. It's funny. Like there's always a couple of those interesting folks that come out to the show that just make the experience 10 times better than like what it previously was. And that's what I love about my shows in particular, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to look directly in the camera. Nobody is not cool enough to be at my shows. I am not about the like you should feel very cool enough to be there. Like I have gone to
Yeah, be you.
I have gone to so many shows where I'm like, dude, am I not cool enough to be here? Or like, oh man, that guy's so much cooler than me. And he's like, and he probably knows it. I'm just like, I'm not about that. So like, I think that is kind of naturally cultivating at these shows. And it's like, especially that one, it was really cool to see like all these like young, like 19-year-old Groms, like befriending this like cyclist, like old guy, and they're like doing the same dance, like this like trippy looking thing. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was super rad, man. It was good. And you, speaking of which, let's go to, before we keep talking about these shows that you've played, what is your band's name right now?
So my music project is called West Chiller.
Okay.
And my band is called the Low Tide Barnacles.
Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. I already knew that, but I'm just playing.
Yeah.
When did you guys form? When did you start playing together?
So I now run my band. I've got like a roster of guys to draw from.
Okay.
I used to have a very set group in college, and it was awesome. But I just saw the challenges of that. And I realized, like, I was like, dude, like, I can't keep asking all of this time from these people and like barely paying them, like, you know, so it just is ridiculous. So like, you know, I figured out that if I work on songwriting and producing with my friends, then I can take like a set list to talented musicians that I know, tell them the deal about the gig up front, and then leave it up to them if they want to play it.
Yeah.
So like, I very much do have like a good crew now that like they've kind of been in it for a while, and they're very easy to like run and stuff. But that's how I operate. It's like with like different guys, 'cause it just frees it up. You know what I mean? Like I could go play with a trio down in Costa Rica, like I did, or I could go play with like a 20-person, you know, ensemble of ukuleles in Hawaii, which I'm going to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just frees the whole thing up, and it works for me. It works for my brand. It works for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the jazz guy in me. Like that's like the jazz core is like, you know, I will go and play a show all by myself.
Yeah.
Or it could be a massive 10-person band like I've done a couple times. So,
which always sounds so beautiful.
It's crazy.
Dude, having such a full band it's such a, God, it's almost hard to explain unless you're on stage and you're playing, dude. You just feel the vibe.
Dude,
Everyone's jamming. It's such a great feeling.
The horns going and like, it's so gnarly, dude. It's just like, whoa. I remember that first time we had like a horn section come in, and like, I just like, it just immediately all the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I was like, whoa, dude, that's crazy.
Oh man. It's cool because to me, there's a time for acoustic. There's a time for full band. Maybe there's time that you don't have the horns, but God, music is so special in every way to me. And, you know, we can hear the same song, but it'll speak to you different, and it's going to speak to me different, and it's going to impact us. And it's like, oh, we just connected off this. It's so rad, you know? So I love music, dude. I love music.
Dude, I really do too. It's brought me into some of the coolest situations, some of the scariest situations, and, like really, like, you know, you can't expect it to not drag you through the mud a little bit too.
True.
Like it is a labor of love, and like if you don't truly love it and you're searching for something else from it,
right?
Like I don't think that bodes well. And like, I don't know. I think, gosh, dude, I worked with this artist yesterday. Her name is Revenge Wife.
Yo.
And she is like, she's got it so down, like top to bottom. She's doing it because she loves it and like doesn't have a choice in the matter. You know what I mean? Like she has to. And like literally every detail top to bottom is just like checked off perfectly. And gosh, was that just like, I was just like looking at her notebook being like, okay, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to do. Okay, that's what I got to do.
Right. Well, it's cool when you play with other artists and musicians. So many times it's made me better.
Oh yeah.
You know, you think like, oh, I'm doing good. And then you link up with someone, you start playing, you're like, oh,
oh yeah.
Oh, they're really good.
Oh yeah.
Makes you grow. It's a good thing though, you know, because to me, it's like, if you think you know it all and you think you got it down, you stop growing.
Right.
You know, it's like you want to be a lifelong learner. You know, you want to always be a student. You want to be learning, right? I don't want to get too comfortable. I always say it on here. Comfort's a slow death. Try to always push yourself. Try to make yourself better. Play different music. Play with different musicians. Go to different shows. Here, there's been so many times. I used to go to symphonies by myself.
No way.
Yeah, I love orchestras. Dude,
I have some crazy shit to tell you about.
Yeah, dude, almost to a point like I haven't gone in a bit, but even just sitting there and hearing the music, I would sit back sometimes. I wouldn't even watch. I would just close my eyes and just listen. And man, you can hear the violins and the cellos, and you just hear everything coming in. You're like, oh, that vibe, that's coming here. Dude, it got me emotional.
Oh yeah.
You start contemplating life and you're thinking, just like, oh my God.
It's kind of like becoming one with the furniture.
Yeah. Yeah, all sophisticated people are like, who's this kid over here?
He's crying and stuff. Man? What are you doing?
No, that's cool, man. The cool thing that we need to talk about too on here is you have a show coming up.
Yes.
That's October 28th. Mm-hmm. And that is the Dead Man's Luau.
It's the Dead Man's Luau.
We need to talk about that because that is going to be off the hook.
Yes.
So please inform our people about the Dead Man's Luau.
Yes, sir. Okay, Dead Man's Luau, folks. October 28th, Santa Monica, California.
Be there.
It's my music festival. We started this back in 2017. My buddy, Jake Joseph, he goes by the artist name of Dead Gringos. Him and I were living in Venice at the time. And I was like what was I doing?
You're living in
I was like a bar back or something. I was just figuring it out. I had hair down to my back and we were kind of living this like.
How are you still alive right now?
I don't know. We were.
How long you live in Venice?
I was there for like a year to 3. I was in the Santa Monica, Venice area for 4 years.
That's like 20 years, bro. That is.
It was fun, dude.
Wild,
it was
bro.
wild. I was like 21,
Yeah.
20, 21, 22, 23. It was epic. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
So I came away relatively unscathed. But when we were down there, we were just really letting that like lifestyle permeate in our brains. And we ended up writing this tale called Found at Sea, the Liquid Tale of Captain Rusty Anchors. And it kind of established this universe, and the Dead Man's Luau is where that story is told.
Okay.
So essentially, it's like a very Gorillaz-esque project where it's multimedial. There's characters. It's a full universe, and it's a very immersive concert-going experience. Dead Man's Luau 3, this is our 3rd iteration, is going to be probably, for sure, the best one yet. The Concept won the Eventbrite Reconvene Accelerator Program's Judges' Choice Award.
That's right.
Which was mental. That changed my whole life.
That was huge. I remember when that happened, dude.
I called you. I was like, Timmy. Like,
you're not gonna believe this.
What the hell? You know, these people. Like, what are they thinking? You know, who signed off on this? But that changed my life. So I will touch on that. When I was at work, we got up late at night for a call.
Yeah.
I'm on my way back. I never bring my phone with me, and I never typically check my phone late at night because it keeps me up. So for whatever reason, I was like, I brought it, and I like one eye on Instagram. And I'm like, Eventbrite, like Reconvene Accelerated Program, like, you know, you can win some money. Oh, okay. So I'm like, maybe I'll apply. So I swipe up and I'm in bed. I'm literally like just letting it fly on the application card.
Love it.
Like just
Go for
like, you know, unfiltered, all of it. And filled it out right then and there late that night, submitted it. I think I might've submitted it in the morning, but didn't look too much into it, forgot about it. And then I got an email being like, hey, you got selected to go into the next round or whatever. And there was a voting process. I lost by a long shot, like 1,800 votes or something. I was like, okay, well, at least I tried, you know.
Your boy voted, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate
Trust
it.
me, I voted.
Yeah. I think we all did, but I just like.
Might have voted 4 times. Whatever.
Yeah. No, but then, you know, long story longer, I got an email being like, hey, Wes, like, can you join us on this day to, you know, talk about the contest? And I was like, oh, cool. So went in there, and it was their CMO that announced that like the 5 of us had won, that 2 were the voting winners and then 3 were the judges' picks.
Whoa.
And so the
That's
CEO,
freaking
and yeah.
That's a big deal, man. Like, people need to understand that is a, you know, cumulative thing that happened for you, right? That's from when you started playing ukulele with that 95-year-old man to going to college, to putting the time, practicing your guitars, writing music, to boom, now you just got picked and the judges were like, hey, we want this guy. That's huge. You put the time in.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that little bit of validation really, really gave me a lot of like confidence. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, okay, what do I do with this confidence? Like, I've thrown concerts many a time. I'm good at it. Like, you know, what am I doing with this? And they challenged me to like write my business plan.
Okay.
And like make a pitch deck, things that are like totally foreign to this dummy.
You're like, oh, what?
I'm like, oh, so I need to like understand what I'm doing? They're like, yes, Wes, like you should understand that. I go, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I wrote out this like 30-page document, and like legitimately changed my life because I realized in that moment what I had to ask of the people around me that want to help, you know.
Yeah.
It gave me direction as far as like what my actual vision is with my brand. And then it really just pointed me, and I have a rudder on my ship now, you know, and now that as wind increases on that, like we're steering in a good direction and making some headway. So
we're going to take that to the Dead Man's Luau, baby.
yes,
We're going to take that to the Dead Man's Luau. And by the way, I'm going to be there.
yeah,
It's going to be a good time. Come look for me.
yeah, it is going to be a blast.
That's going to be rad. So it's October 28th, which is a Saturday.
Yes, it is.
What time does that start?
It's going to be from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. We're abiding by the actual luau hours.
Okay.
It's designed to be a start of the evening for everybody.
Okay.
And it's really amazing because like we're not really competing with anybody for that time frame. And it's been like really encouraging seeing the sales, and like I just truly believe in this, especially as we like go beyond this year and into like the future.
Yeah.
Like outdoors, and like it's going to be amazing. So.
Oh, yeah. So is your band the only band playing, or are there going to be other artists that are going to be there?
Yeah, so it's going to be it's going to be my band headlining. We're going to have this amazing artist out of Los Angeles who is seriously like one of the ones to watch right now. His name is Deluxe,
Okay.
DE_LUX. Insane, like Chromeo meets like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not the B-52s. Who's the other guy? Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
Yeah, like kind of like Talking Heads, and just an incredible performer.
Hold on here. You said Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Is he mixed?
No.
No. Okay, I'm thinking another person, because I think I had another artist on here a year or two ago. His name was I'm trying. I might be wrong.
Yeah, this guy's like a really, really, really epic. Like he's just this like rad individual, dude.
Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah. No,
was like, oh, small world.
Sean's a really cool dude. He's super, super, super like technically just dialed on all of his equipment, which is like so cool to watch. So, and his show and his writing is obviously fantastic. That's why he's playing. But then we'll be having Pink Skies do a DJ set, and he produces music for me and does his own thing, which is incredible.
That is so rad. Now, do people have to get tickets before, or can they show the day of?
You can go day of. We're doing early bird pricing right now for another couple days, so I would highly recommend getting on that. It's $20. You get a drink and you get a ticket. Then there's some VIP options if you want like a merch bundle and a little signed set list, a couple other things. So
Can I buy it?
yeah.
Can I get a signed
you got whatever you want to.
Do it. I got to bring this up here. What have you had this mustache for a while? Because you shaved the mustache, then you have it. Well, I'm trying to remember because it's on point right now. I'm gonna say, put the camera on him real quick, please. Look at dude. Nice flavor saver, bro.
There's some grays coming in.
I don't want to talk about it, dude.
Yeah?
I know. There's a reason why I shave every day and don't let my beard grow out too much.
Really?
I got a lot of gray on the left side.
No.
On the left and kind of under, I'm like, dude, what is happening to my life?
It does happen.
Yeah, 37 hit hard.
Yeah.
A little hard.
It's okay. No, I think the mustache is going to be here for a little bit.
Hey, I'm going to say right now, bro, it's a look. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, dude.
Just trying to be more Magnum.
Again.
You know, any way I've humanly possibly can.
You're doing it. Yeah.
It's a different, you know, I have no chance, but any.
Oh my God, dude, you're so funny.
Anyway.
I had a mustache for. I
know. I like it.
Do you remember when I had the full on twirls going on?
Yes.
I had that. I think I was known for that for a hot minute.
Yeah, you were like Mr. Mysterio, you know, it's like, hello. Yeah.
I put a picture. You know, we have those photographers that follow us around in these big fires and stuff, right? And I showed up as a safety officer, and I'm doing my thing, and they snapped a shot and they put it on Instagram, and I took it. I was like, oh, hey, you know, repost. Dude, I got filleted on Instagram. people were like doing the side-by-side photos. They had like Mr. Pringles. Then they had this dude who was in jail who had like hair just right here that was coming curled up.
Yo.
Oh, dude, I think I had
Why
like,
do people gotta be that way?
Dude, it was so, honestly, I loved it. It was, I just kept reposting them. And people just kept catching on.
Kept making
dude.
them.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, we're done, guys. Like, it's starting to hurt a little bit.
Yeah. They're like putting up like really aggressive ones. You're like, dude, stop. You're like,
oh, dude, it was so good. I'm like, I love the internet, dude. I got roasted so hard on that one.
that's so great.
But that my mustache at that time, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like twisting and wax every morning. And, you'd be at work. We get a night call and you get up and like one's straight down here, one's curl going way up here and stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I got to sleep on my back and not move. I got to keep the look.
Keep the look.
But, well, I don't know. Some people are telling me to bring it back.
I think you should.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, that was quite the mustache for a long time.
You could do I feel like you could do that a lot of different ways now, like you could kind of like bring it like out.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like usually during the summertime, because I'm mixed, right? My mom's black. That's why when I grow out a mustache, or even I have my beard now, there's white in it, but for whatever it's probably being mixed, but there's blonde, red, black, white. Like there's a lot going on, and people always kind of like, what's your
hair's
nationality?
like a season.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to figure out like, what's do you dye your mustache? Like, I'm like, no, it's just I don't want to talk about it. I'm mixed, okay? Forget about it.
That's great.
But dude, the Dead Man's Luau, that's coming on the 28th. I really want to encourage everyone to come. You're gonna hear great music. It's gonna be a good time, great people, good vibes. Show up. I'm gonna be there. Wes is gonna be there with his band. There's gonna be a lot of other people that are just rad, the musicians. It's gonna be such a good time. Don't miss out on it. I'm just putting a plug in.
Hell yeah.
You gotta come. I ordered some new merch for the podcast. I was going to come start throwing it at
Yeah.
people.
Do it, baby.
Yeah, dude.
That's what it's all about.
It'll be a good time, dude.
Yeah.
Now, your music, dude. There's one thing I want to hit on with music is, life can be interesting. It has its ups and downs. And for me, in a lot of tough times where I couldn't find the words to say during tough moments, music always filled in for me. I always would put something on and it would calm me, dude. It would bring me back to that level like, you know what? It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Or just pick up the guitar and start playing and doing my thing. There's so much more to playing music, in my opinion, that people don't really understand who aren't musicians. And that's why I think it's so unique in our positions as far as the career field we're in, right? It's not that firemen are, I want to say it's right. It's like firemen are smart people, okay? We're A-type personalities. Some of the best people I know, probably some of the craziest at times too. When you hang out with them, you're like, whoa, you're wild. But they're also people who give you the shirt off their back. But in our instances as creatives, it's so different for us because we're used to thinking outside the box of what we're doing and creating, right? Creating in either it's music or podcasting or whatever your art is. And I always found it so interesting because we had this conversation a while ago. I was saying to you, like, it's so interesting what we do for a career because reality is it's paramilitary. You got to fit in that box. Everyone wears the same uniform. You follow the SOPs. You do what you're told. You work as a team. But for us, sometimes I find that not difficult, but almost maybe difficult or challenging because it's like, I want to be creative right now. I'm at work. You feel that hit. Like you're just like, God, I want to do something a little different. But as firefighters, you can't, we're like, this is our career. You're doing it, right? I remember, my old department guys, oh, you do music. Oh, you trying to be famous? You're like, well, no, that's what I do, man. This is how I connect, not just with myself, with spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like, it centers me. Oh, yeah. It's almost like I would relate to surfing for me, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Being in the waves and in the water, I've talked about it here so many times. It's just, it's therapy in its own way. And that's what music is for me at times, too. Like, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's, for probably everybody, I wouldn't say just first responders and military, but they have that EMDR music. Is it EMDR? Did I say it right? Yeah, EMDR music. That's that bilateral flow.
Yeah.
It's music that it calms me. It sits me down. It's like, man, you can just, as weird as it sounds, like, dude, there's times I just feel it in my soul, dude. You're like, oh man, this is it right here. Is that something that also correlates with you when it comes to music because you've been doing it for so long?
Yes. It's like I run the risk of sounding like a maniac, but I like think almost exclusively in terms of like song. Gotcha. And it's almost Like it's almost like a nuisance at times because like I love it, but like dude, there is like always some like song going on. Like if we're having a conversation, I'm suddenly kind of like checked out. Like I'm listening to what I like. Yeah. Most of the time, it's not that great. Yeah. It's like the way that it was described to me is like an antenna, right? And like, you know, an artist just sitting there shining their creative antenna for that, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And dude, most of the time it's just kind of like a scratchy AM radio, you know, it's like kind of like some like, it's like, no, what is that? Like, go away, bring me my next Mo Nothing or like, you know, so bring me something good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would definitely say that, in our line of work, I don't envy the guys that really, define their whole life by it. Like I will never be a paycheck firefighter. I go to work, I get my stuff handled. Right. I do everything that's required of me and more. I love, cause that's just how my brain works. I can't stop.
Yeah.
So I will never be that way. But you, at the same time, like you have to find an outlet because if you don't, then when that retirement bell rings, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the guy rolling through the station and like trying to relive your glory years? Like you will never find happiness.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was told when you get the job, you get a badge and you get a proverbial bucket, right? The badge is your pride. The badge is like how you feel about helping the public. It's the calling. And then the bucket just fills with accumulative stress. And my form of emptying my bucket is through songwriting and surfing. And that's how I stay mentally well.
Oh, dude. Well said, dude. It's almost like it pretty much like surfing and songwriting. The music is interwoven with itself.
Sounds and vibrations.
Man. Oh man, I love it, dude.
Swells and pulses.
Yeah. I try to tell it to people a lot about surfing, dude. Honestly, it's like God, what surfing does for me, and what my father taught me about surfing. You know, to respect the ocean, what it does for you.
Don't turn your back on it, right?
Like, no, man, and how everyone goes down to the ocean for different reasons, but leaves so much better. It's just, you know, it's being grounded. Your feet are in the sand. You know, even for me, getting off duty, you know, a lot of times I drive my RV to work.
I
got my boards inside. Like, as soon as I'm off, boom.
The HQ, baby.
Yeah, dude, headquarters. Yeah. So funny because guys are like, dude, where's your RV? Why are you driving your car? I'm like, I can't fit. The station's, you know, it's too small over here. But dude, to go, you know, to be in our line of work and see the things that we see, and the job's great. It's fun. But there a lot of times the general public and even our families don't understand what we go through on a day-to-day or shiftly basis and what we see and we go through as a crew. And a lot of times, you know, you get off duty and it's like, all right, go be a father, son, husband, cousin, you know, whatever you need to be. But you're like, dude, I just like fought a fire, you know, we just saw somebody die. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. And for me, it's getting in the water and getting that, you know, it's, you know, how you first paddle out and that wave hits you and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, like, oh.
Yeah, but you know, like it wakes you up, you feel good. And because you have to focus, you know, so much on, you know, the timing of the wave, watching to see when the, you know, swells are coming in, the set, and then getting up, standing up on that wave and just working the wave and being one in the ocean and getting up there and learning your balance. And at least for us longboarding, learning to walk the board, how you shift your weight and hang at 5, hang at 10, being able to freaking slap the lip on your longboard. I mean, it makes me forget about a lot of things that I'm dealing with. And I leave so much better from the ocean than when I went in.
Yeah.
I'm always smiling, dude. As soon as I get up, it's like, oh yeah, dude, everything's gonna be all right.
Oh yeah.
I feel so good right now, man. And I've had some tough days where it's like, man, I get out there down to the ocean. It's a great day. And, you know, I'm in my head, I'm bombing, dude. You're just like, oh, dude, life and decisions and this and that. And then, you know, I feel like I don't want to go out. I'm just going to hang out. It's like, no, just get in the water. Catch one wave. And you catch that one wave. You're like, oh, dude, I'm staying out for 2 hours.
Worth it. Yeah, worth it.
It's so worth it, man. So I try to tell people for me, it's so hard to explain what surfing does for me internally, emotionally, spiritually, in so many different ways. I say, you just got to go.
Right.
You're not going to pick it up right away. It takes years, man. I've been surfing since I was 8.
Yep.
You know, so it's one of those things you stick with it. You keep going, you keep working at it. But man, it's just so good for you, man.
I love it. I think a couple things you can really point to, like it's number one, just it's so like grounding, right? Like that floating sensation, dude, is just good for you. I don't care what anybody says. Like your belly up, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then like that forced presence of mind, like definitely has some sort of therapeutic benefit because, like you said, like to your point, you're just, you're normally all over the place mentally, right? You're like going like, oh, should I have said that? Or like, oh gosh, I have this coming up, whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you're, taking off on a big bomb out at HB, bro, it's freaking. You got it.
Yeah, everyone's staring at me.
You got to be locked in the moment, man. One with the water.
Everyone's staring at us because we're the only two dudes with longboards on a massive 10-foot hollow day. You're like, I'll make it, man.
Look out.
What it is.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do hear what you're saying, man. It is such a beautiful experience. And the thing is that like, as the crowds get worse and as everyone is starting to learn, I think it is incumbent on people that have been doing it for a while to like remind folks respectfully where they should be surfing.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous, dude. I have seen more head injuries, like bad ones in the water since COVID. Like, and it's like, anybody anybody knows that surfing literally blew up exponentially in COVID. They literally didn't have room to make more surfboards because it takes so long to dry them with all the resin. That's never, ever happened.
Right.
So,
Let that sink in, people.
Like there's more people in the water, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, hey, if you're learning, like go to Doheny, go to Dog Patch at Sano, and then go with somebody that knows, or if you don't know anybody that knows, then like go take a surf lesson. If you can't afford one, there's free ones.
Yeah.
Dude, just like, do yourself the favor because you're putting yourself and others in danger by not knowing the etiquette a little bit.
Yeah.
And like when you and I were growing up, we learned it because we got hammered by the old dudes.
Oh yeah.
And now nobody's doing much hammering anymore, which is probably for the better. But dude, I don't know. I got it handed to me several times and like scared.
Yeah.
And like then I learned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I
don't know.
Threatened. I remember being like 11 years old. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit,
yeah. Like
dude.
a grown man in his 40s, like probably came off probably just smoked like 3 Marlboro Reds and is like halfway through a bottle of like, I don't know, Evan Williams or something, like in his gnarly Winnebago. He's out there just breathing on you. You're like, oh God, like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I better not cut that guy off again. He's gonna kill
I remember
me.
my dad saying that because my dad would, dude, my dad taught me how to surf.
Yeah.
He never forced me. We used to always go to the beach and I was like, hey dad, I want to learn how to surf one day. Okay. He just gave me a surfboard, threw the leash on. He's like, meet me out there. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, boys went too far up ahead of me or I'm done. It was a mess, but it was such a cool moment that is going to stick with me for a lifetime. And I remember I was 8 years old. I was getting hammered on the inside, and I finally figured out kind of the balance. And it was a foggy morning, right? You could hear the waves breaking, and you couldn't see them until it was probably maybe 6-8 feet in front of you. And you're like, oh, it's coming, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I finally was getting out to the lineup, and I heard the wave break, and it was the guy it was a left. He was coming towards me on his left. And I remember looking up and I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. Look at that guy surfing. It was my dad.
What?
Bro, it was such a special moment.
Sick.
Yeah, and I remember seeing him come out of the fog, dude. And he had his stance. Like he's got that
baby.
60 stance kind of like that. Dude, and he's funny because he whistles. He'll blow.
Yeah.
He's like fucking whistling and stuff. And I remember looking up, I'm like, my dad is so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do that.
That look on his face, you're like, dude, I need that,
Dude, and that ended up being probably, I just talked to my dad today about that. And he was saying, when you were a kid, he's like, those are real special times for me at the beach growing up with you. We had so many years of going out early in the morning and surfing. It was just you and me. Yeah. And like, I get emotional thinking about it now because I was on the phone. And I remember telling him, I was like, Dad, I don't say it as much as I probably should, but I was like, I love you, man. Yeah. Like, those are some of the best years of my life. Oh, yeah. Things I want to do with my kids one day when I have them. It's just special. It's just amazing, dude. The ocean, gosh, go surf. Go learn to surf. Be respectful, learn the etiquette. But, man, the ocean and what it does for you, and it's beautiful, man. It is. It's such a beautiful thing. And speaking of which, you and I work on a surf film. Mm-hmm. It's coming along, dude. Yes, what I like about it, too, is we're not rushing it. No. You just got to let it flow, baby. Yeah. Let it flow. Sam? Where's Sam? What's his for his last name already?
Sam Freeman.
Freeman, yeah. I almost said Ferguson. Sam Freeman. Miss you, buddy.
Miss you too, Sammy boy.
That's been fun because the days that we've been going out and where we've been filming have been so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's been such a rad time.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, dude. And it's cool when we go out too, because you can tell, like, we get out, we surf, like, we know the etiquette, we wait our turn, do our thing. But I've come to that point in my life with surf. I've been doing it so long. Like, I could care less if I get the main break, dude. Whatever. I just want to get a ride. That's it. Have fun. I'll go off to the side and get the small wave.
How'd you learn that?
Yeah. I don't know. It just happened. I'm like, I have more fun surfing off the side kind of by myself, but
I need to retire to that.
well, dude, just going out, and I love cheering other people on. Like,
Yeah.
you get a wave, I love whistling, hooting for you. It's just a good time. It's a good vibe. Because let's be real, everyone's in the water. Like, everyone's got their lives. We got issues, things going on, work, stress. Let's come out and have fun. Mm-hmm. That's my thought, dude. Let's cheer people on. Hey, someone mess up. Hey, like, don't do that again. You know,
right.
Like, learn etiquette.
Right.
But to go out, I don't know if you've seen it. Like, even when I've been out with you, I started making friends out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll paddle out. I'm like, hey, dude, that was a sick ride.
Right.
You know, where we go at churches a lot of times, there's a mixture of the short, mid, and long.
Yeah.
You know, the classic
Everybody's
tension.
riding everything out there.
Yeah, the old classic tension, right? Oh, he's shortboarding, he's longboarded. But there was that one dude, Scott. I can't remember his last name. I've seen him 3 other times out there. And every time he comes out now, he's like, hey, man, you always put the good vibes out.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I love it. He's like, it's cool to see that you're on a longboard, because a lot of, there's younger people out here and they'll get upset because I'm short. But he's like, dude, you're cheering me on. You're cheering the kids on. I'm like, well, yeah, man, let's have a good time.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, let's have some freaking fun, dude.
Right.
Let's get out here, because life is what it is, highs and lows. But out here, let's have the highs, baby.
Yeah,
let's have
100%
good time, dude.
Create the W's, baby.
Oh,
no L's.
Yeah. When do you have a show coming up before the Dead Man's Luau?
No, I do not. The Dead Man's Luau is my next show.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you using the same band that was at Huntington for the WSL?
A little bit different.
Okay.
We are bringing in a new instrument for this one.
Are you going to keep that a secret right now?
No, I'll tell you. My friend Coley is going to be joining us.
Playing the flute?
He might be playing the flute.
Get out of here. That's
he
so
might
rad.
be playing the saxophone.
Okay.
And he will definitely be playing the lap steel Hawaiian guitar.
Dude, lap steel is sick.
And we stumbled upon a sound on the last rehearsal where I'm like mainly on this guy.
Yeah.
And it sounds we're onto something.
Oh, I love it, dude.
It's the coolest thing I have ever done was that last rehearsal.
You know who played the saxophone? Sam too.
Woo.
Sam too?
Yeah.
Alto?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Hey.
G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp G. You know? I got my fingers down still. I got it. That low C pinky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta get the pinky.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all about that ombre shirt.
Yeah, all the people who aren't musicians listen are like, what's so funny? I'm
is
like,
it?
hey,
It's
you'll
like,
get it one
hold
day.
still.
Yeah. It's so true. I remember being in band, dude. Yeah, it was the same thing, just like, whoa.
Yeah, just trying to make
dude.
it happen. You're like, what am I doing?
Squeaking, like, hey, dude, keep your reed wet.
Yeah, like.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like tastes all funny and
Yeah, look it up, people. Look it up.
Anyway.
Saxophone, baby. That's gonna be sick, dude.
yeah, it will be sick. I'm really proud of what we're doing on this one, dude. But our surf film is gonna be so sick.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
the first song of the album is coming out the night before the luau.
Get out of here.
Yes.
You showed me some of the songs that we met up at your house one day with Sam, and you showed some. I was like, hey, Wes, this is really freaking good.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, keep going, like keep writing. Maybe we don't need to surf today. Like, let's stay in the studio. Like, you need to keep writing right now, bro. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Do you think you're gonna make the songs from the film into its own record?
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's
Okay,
going to
okay.
be a side-by-side multimedia project. So we'll run the surf film, and then we'll be able to run the tracks right alongside of it.
Oh my gosh, dude. Patience for me sometimes is really hard.
I know. We're going to be there. July 2024 is like, I think, realistic.
Well, okay, perfect, because I'm also excited because we're supposed to have an El Nino, right, this year.
I think so.
That should bring some pretty good surf.
Oh yeah.
Some big surf.
Oh yeah.
And I got a couple new boards that are really good for that.
Let's do it.
So
Let's go charge.
all day, dude.
Just beer league chargers. Would love that so much.
Dude, just 30 minutes of wipeouts.
You're right.
So rad.
Just getting cooked.
Oh, I love it, man. Now, Sam, is he gonna? Are you gonna film the Dead Man's Luau?
Yes. So there's a couple people bringing out. So Sam's going to be doing something very awesome, which is a surprise.
Okay.
He'll be doing something at the luau specifically for me, and then we have a team through Eventbrite, team on Honora.
Okay.
They're an incredible company. They do, A-level advertising stuff, and they're coming to film it, and I am so excited because they're just going to have a spectacle on their hands. I think they're going to just be like, what do we film? Like
that is probably going to turn out pretty epic.
Yeah.
If you have a group of that caliber, that's going to be their filming.
Yeah.
That's going to turn out pretty sweet.
It's going to be exactly what it'll be a nice little launch pad.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, freaking absolutely, man.
So we're gonna see what we can do with it, but I have high hopes.
What's the plan after Dead Man Luau? Do you have any other shows coming up?
After Dead Man's Luau, I'm going to the Maldives.
And did I get the invite, bro?
You did not. I'm so sorry.
I probably don't have the time off.
Yeah, you got forced. Freaking.
Oh yeah, this is a real man.
Sorry.
Yeah. Don't promote.
Yeah, exactly. No, I actually saw this opportunity to go out there on a boat trip with some really, really talented surfers. And there was one spot left and I just snagged it. So
that's rad. How long you be out there for?
12, 13 days.
Dude, okay, I'm going to back up here. Where did you go again a couple months ago or a month ago? Where were you at?
I went to Costa Rica.
You were there for a long time.
I was there for 16 days. Yeah. Man. That was incredible.
I wish, dude. I just got
We'll
back
go. Yeah, we'll go.
Well, the hard part is traveling with boards our size is, I have a 10-footer.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm putting that in an airplane. No. Have you seen the videos on social media of how some of these airlines handle longboards?
Yeah.
Dude, there's one I saw, he just dropped it down to the ground from a second level.
Yeah. They thrash them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I looked at, I think I told you this, the Macaroni Resort.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I had called them because a few years ago I was going to go. Unfortunately, I had to cancel because some other stuff came up. But I was messaging them online and I asked them, hey, do you have boards rent? Because it's going to be hard for me to bring even a 9.6.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I could bring a mid-length, but dude, how sick would it be to ride a longboard, have fun, But they have boards there. They say, oh, no, we got plenty of boards. Rent, do your thing. It's a full surf resort.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That whole shipping surfboards thing is, unless you have a shortboard, it's a nightmare.
I'm going to, I know it is a nightmare. This will be the first time that I'm traveling with my log, but I am so excited to get on perfect waves on my surfboard.
Right.
That's going to make such a huge difference. Yeah. So
did you rent boards?
No, on my last trip, I actually was given some boards to use.
That's sick.
Yeah, that was incredible. My buddy Matt Wignall, thanks Matt. He freaking really donned me out with some surfboards, and my buddy Kyle showed me all the zones.
Dude, so you know what the cool part about that was when I saw Sam made it out.
Dude, I know.
Last minute, I'm like, God, how do I always miss out on this, man?
That was crazy. I was playing that set in the jungle, and literally him and his buddies come out of the pouring rain, and he's got his little whatever, MP3 or MP4 camera. He's like, dude, Wes, he's got that crazy look in his eye. He's like, Wes, what's up, man? I'm like, Sammy boy, just jungle reunion,
I hope people get to meet Sam one of these days. He's such a rad dude.
He's the best. He really is.
He's very good man.
He's good for many, many reasons, but out of all the videographers that I've worked with, and there's been a lot of them, no shade to the rest of you. Sam is just a pleasure to be around and work with. He's my best boy, he's my brother, so it's I don't have to worry about the camera. I don't have to feel I need to be a certain way. I get really nutted up in front of cameras.
Yeah.
So it's like I just
as we have one in your face right now.
Well, I have my ukulele. That's what
is
helps
that your comfort,
me.
dude?
Yeah, that's my. This is like my like. You know.
So I've talked to you about the First Responders Night of Hope.
Yes,
that whole
dude.
concert thing that I'm putting together. It's March 8th, tentatively. And it's cool. We got professional musicians. And usually, I was doing music. I always had the guitar for me, right? A comfort thing. And as time has gone on, I was like, I'm not going to play. I'm just going to focus on singing.
Dang.
I'm going to rock it with a mic, dude. I'm going for it. I've been feeling that super hard, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to be real with you.
I love it, bro.
Just go for it.
I'll be in there. I'll be in the audience going, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. It's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have this barrier in front of you in the crowd, right? Mm-hmm. And then you take that away. It's different, man. It's totally different. But I've been feeling it like I just need to focus on the words and singing and getting people to engage.
And delivering them.
Yes, dude, just going for it.
Right.
So I might be practicing too on my own. Just in front of the mirror, dude. Just
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, you got to, bro, dude. Like, I saw something about Michael Jackson, and his like notebook of how he wanted to portray himself and perform was like forensically detailed. It was like, okay, like I like how Chuck Berry dresses in this year. I like how David Bowie, like his drama from this year, like it's like all these like little like zing, 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 zing. And I was like, whoa. And like at the end of it, it's like, I will be the best in the world. And it's like, okay, then he did. Like, so.
Well, it's almost to get to the level that he was at. You have to be that way.
Oh yeah.
You have to be so in it. My goodness, you got to be detail oriented. You can't just go in and say, it'll work out. I'm just going to feel it. Like, no.
Right. I'm going to be myself. It's like,
no, you're not.
Ain't nobody that cool, man.
Yeah. Oh, no. You know, it's another thing that I was reading about, Taylor Swift. They're saying her concert was like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, how many songs is she singing? Dude, to keep your voice, your vocals for that long, that is so impressive. Like I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but when I read that, I was like, there's a reason you're pretty much the best. Like that is amazing.
Dude, her concert tours are like shifting the world economy. Like they're like, I've never seen anything like that. I don't think we ever will. I think she's as big as it gets.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, it was really cool too. When she was wrapping up her U.S. tour, she gave all the truck drivers of the stage and the gear, she gave them like $100,000 bonuses. I'm like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Take care of your people.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, it's like she wouldn't be performing and getting that stuff done if it wasn't for them. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for people, say the little people. It's like, no, everyone has a part to play. Everyone has their piece of the pie. She wouldn't be there, and that part wouldn't be happening if she didn't have that team, and she's taking care of them. Like, how much harder are they going to work for her and want to come back?
Twice as hard.
Oh, absolutely.
And it'll be twice as down.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time, dude. Now, before we wrap this up, dude, I'm not going to conspiracy theory thing here for you. You ready for this? I saw today that in Colorado, which I just came back from, these people, there's like a group of people. There's a lot of them, and they have their cell phone, and it's a really good video, and they're up on the mountain. Everyone's like, look. Full on Sasquatch. Walking across, huge, dude. And then it sat down and was looking at them. Everyone's freaking out. I was like, wait a minute, dude. Wait a minute. I'll be real here, okay? I want aliens to be real. I want Sasquatch, the Yeti. Like, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make this real. What is your thoughts on that, bro?
Sorry, I'm working on my Mitch McConnell. That was
you
rude.
for a loop right now, didn't I?
Yeah, that was rude. Sorry, Mitch. Anyway, dude, I don't know. I want to believe in all of it, man. I'm a sucker for a good story. Okay, like
you and me both, dude.
If some toothless guy comes up to me babbling about Sasquatch and how he just saw him right up the road, I'm gonna be like, yo, everybody, this guy just saw Sasquatch. Like, let's go take a look. You know, like, I'm in. Like, if you can come into me and you're like, yo, dude, I just saw this crazy.
Yeah.
Man, it was right there, man. And I'm like, all right, like, let's go, dude. Let's go check it out.
And he's like, by the way, you got to get in my van. We're going to go to my basement first.
Dude.
Everybody get in.
Just take a hit of this. You know, he hands up like some like, it's like, whoa, okay. You know, like, and, you know, so I'm in on all of it. Like I do think it's a large place and, this universe. So like, who's to say that, you know, anything's possible, man. I think the second we put limitations on anything, you know, that's when we stop becoming a thing in progress. That's a big part of like my faith is like, a friend of mine kind of recently exposed me to the Orthodox Christianity ideals.
Okay.
And, I might be butchering this too, but you know, a lot of it is like just understanding that we're all kind of a work in progress. So like when you apply that framework to everything, suddenly like decisions and like losses and anger becomes less, meaningful because you're like, oh, well, you know, like, of course it's a blunder. Like we make mistakes, we're in progress type of thing.
Yeah.
So I when it comes to the topics of like those like far out things, right? Like I'm all in. Like I think, you know, I think there's totally viability for like different, you know, dimensions of time and space and like, you know, how our baroreceptors and all of our different nerves like perceive things and like, who knows, dude? Like maybe that was Sasquatch.
Who knows?
You know?
Or maybe it was somebody in a big old suit. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know.
Who knows? I'm in on it though. I'm down to clown. I love all that stuff and like I truly believe in like the exchange of like energy as like how it relates to like what you're attracting and what you're not.
Yeah.
So like I think if your heart and your soul and your mind remain open, like, you know, you might see some crazier things in this life. Like go figure. So
You never know,
knows?
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, dude. I have my faith. I believe in my creator. Am I a perfect person? By no means, people. I have my own issues. Okay, straight up with you.
Yeah.
But I don't like.
He's got a lot of them. I'm just kidding. I get it.
Well, dude, to me, it's just like you said, the universe is so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, and I read about a month ago, how they're saying space is still expanding. Dude, it blew my mind. I was like, wait, what?
I'm going to do my second Mitch McConnell impression here. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, it was really cool.
That's so rude.
No, it was from that same place where I read these articles about like science and space. It was really cool. I think it was about 3 years ago. And I'll kind of wrap it up with this, but it was talking about, they brought up music. And they brought up how, you know, playing, what we do and what we say. But it was saying how everything we do, we're playing music or even talking, it doesn't just stop when it's in between you and I or the crowd that you're playing in front of. It continues on forever. Just like you look at the stars, how they relate to the stars. There's some that are burned out. We're just seeing it because it's so far away, we haven't seen it burn out yet. Mm-hmm. It's still traveling. It was saying how the things you put out in the universe, when it comes to music and talking, it continues on. For some reason, I thought that was so beautiful. I was like, man, that is heavy.
And it goes and it gets like sticky, you know, like, so like you got to be careful what you're putting out.
Ooh,
you know,
my friend.
Like, dude, like, you know, what if you're driving along, dude, and like, what if you run over Sasquatch? You know, like, what if like Sasquatch is like your roadkill now, and like,
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. If that happened, I couldn't handle it.
I just have like a meltdown freak out, like side of the road, like clothes ripped off.
I'm always talking about like, oh, aliens this, and did you hear that, and you know, Sasquatch here, and the Yeti, and it's like you say, well, what if you hit it with your car? I don't know if I could comprehend. But like,
what would Fish and Game do? You think?
Oh, dude, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think it'd be Fish and Game. I think it'd be the government you have to worry about. They'd be coming to your front door real quick, dude. Real quick.
Be like, what is this?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Fish and Game is aggressive, dude. Those guys are gnarly.
Very.
Yeah.
Very, very gnarly. But
did I tell you about my guys that freaking that got arrested?
Oh my God, tell me.
Dude, it was so gnarly. I got a couple of these buddies. They're a little gnarly. They are fishermen, and they were doing some fishing up in, God, I kind of forget where it was. Like, I want to say it was like, you know, Idaho or something like that. And they're driving out, and dude, they hit this boar on the side of the road,
Okay, so totally not their fault. It just happened.
Not their fault, but they're fishermen. So like they take this board to the side of the road. It's like squealing, like dying, so they cap it and take it into the bushes. 6 months later, they both get served and arrested and like basically booked on illegal hunting for like poaching, basically.
How in the world did they know it was them?
The pig squealed.
I freaking hate you.
That's all, folks.
I fed into that so hard. I fed into that so freaking hard. You're such an idiot. I was like, what?
That was my whole goal this entire time.
Oh my God. Wes, you are a good man, my friend. Thank you for coming on this podcast. I'm really excited for your future projects. Not even just the ones we're doing, but your music, your creativity. I just want to encourage you, man, keep going.
Thanks, buddy.
You got to keep doing it, dude. You have a talent. You have an ear for it. You never know what it can turn into. I always tell everybody, just go for it, dude. You have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose. You never know what it could turn into.
I have no choice at this point. It's just something I'm doing, baby.
I love it, dude.
FUN.
Yeah, so Dead Man's Luau, October 28th. I'm going to be there. Wes, of course, is headlining. It's going to be amazing. Come. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. 10% of proceeds goes to Surfers Healing and the Maui Firefighters Relief Trust.
Oh, dude, I didn't know.
We're doing 5% of proceeds to Surfers Healing, which puts on free surf camps for kids living with autism, and then 5% will go to that Firefighters Trust for the Maui first responders who lost their homes.
Well done, my friend. Well done. I love it.
You know it, baby.
Wes, where can people find your record that you have out? Records?
Just anywhere that you listen, look up Wes Chiller. Join me on Instagram or any socials at Wes Chiller. And most importantly, go to LETSGO.podcast and join my email list. And I won't spam you, but I send you the important stuff. So,
woo! Facebook, Wes Chiller.
Yeah.
Instagram at Wes Chiller.
Beautiful. Yes,
Check
sir.
them out. Do it, babe.
Cheers.
At the end of this podcast, we always do a Let's Go on three. You ready, babe?
Yeah.
Hit us a chord. Let's get in tune here. Hit us a chord. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go!
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in. If you liked what you just listened to, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Please follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And a big shout out to Stephen Clark, our sound editor. He's a huge part of this team that is unseen. It's 89 Barbers, our first sponsor. Look good, feel good, be great. That's 2 locations, Orange, California, and Long Beach, California. Book your appointment online, 89barbers.com. Bye, everybody.